In this video, I'm going to show you how to clean up your WordPress installation so that your site is ready to be used. All new WordPress installs will typically have things installed or added into WordPress that you're not going to need for your blog. And it's important that we get rid of these extra things because all of these unnecessary things will only serve to take up space and slow down your site. Now, what exactly extra is added is going to depend on where your site is hosted. So each web hosting provider is going to add its own things to your site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the areas where I have seen additional things added into the site and show you what it is that you need to get rid of. So right now I've gone ahead and logged into my site and I'm on the dashboard page, which you can see right here. It says dashboard. Now remember, what you're going to see on this page, so what your dashboard is going to look like may vary from what you're seeing here on the screen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come into the sidebar here and we're going to go down through some of these options and just get rid of the excess stuff that we're not going to need. Now, I'll be explaining what each of these is for later. For now, what I want to do is get our blog to a good baseline so that we're all starting at the same spot. So the first thing that I like to do is just to get rid of notifications that are on my dashboard. And you can see here that there are two. There's this one here about personal data and privacy. So I'm just going to click on dismiss. And then you'll see that this over here, this kind of banner at the top of our dashboard that says welcome to WordPress. It has some links and things to get started, which you could go to and look at if you wanted to, but I'm going to be walking you through how to do this stuff through these tutorials. So I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss this one. So with our notifications closed, this is what our dashboard currently looks like. Now you do have some control over customizing what shows up on your dashboard, and to do that you would come here under screen options. So you can see if I click on this little arrow over here that right now it's showing boxes. So when it says boxes, it's referring to the boxes that are on the screen right now. And as you can see here, if I click this welcome one, that's the one that we got rid of. So this one is actually a box and a notification. So you can dismiss it or just uncheck it here. Now the things that I like to keep on my dashboard are just the at a glance, so it gives me an idea of how many posts and comments that I have on my site, and I also like to keep activity on here. I never use Quick Draft. I always go into the post editor to create my posts, so I turn that off. So I'm just going to click on the little box here, and then WordPress events and news, I don't really need to keep up to date on that every time I log in. I can always go to the WordPress site if I want to see it, or I can turn it back on. So for now I'm just going to uncheck that. So I just like to have a nice clean dashboard. And then once you've kept the options that you wanted, gotten rid of the ones that you don't, you can just click on this little arrow again, close that up, and you can see we have a nice clean dashboard. Now, as you start adding things to your site, like other plugins, for example, you will start to see other things added to the dashboard, and the options will show up under screen options. So you'll always be able to decide what it is that you want to be able to see at a glance when you log into the admin area of your WordPress blog. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start cleaning up the sample content that's been added to our site. So here in the sidebar, I'm first going to come to posts. I'm going to hover over that and select all posts. And you can see it's opened up the post section of our site. And we have one post, which is this Hello World sample post. As you can see, as soon as my mouse cursor hovers over it, we have this new menu that opens up. So to delete it, you simply click on trash. And you can see we have a notice here that it's been moved to the trash. So whenever you delete content on your site, so whether that's a post, whether that's a page or a comment, it doesn't immediately get completely deleted off your site. Rather, it gets moved into a trash folder. And if you look down here, you can see now that we have this trash folder and it's telling us there's one post in the trash folder. So click on trash, and then that will take us into the trash folder, and here you can see our posts now. And if we hover over it, you can see we have two options. We can either restore it, so this is excellent if you accidentally deleted a post, you can restore it back into your post section. Otherwise, you can click delete permanently and it will be completely gone from your site. So you can see now if we click back on all posts, we have no posts here. So from posts, we're going to take a look at pages. So you hover over pages, select all pages. Now in this case, you can see there aren't any pages found. Depending on where you installed WordPress, so on what web host or blog host, you may find a sample page. And if you do, you're going to simply delete it in the same way that I showed you with the posts. So next we're going to take a look at comments. Now you can see there's no additional flyout menu with comments, so I'm just going to click on that and there's no comment. So you may be wondering, well, where did the comment go? Because there was a sample comment. Well, when we deleted our post, because that was the only post we had and the only comment we had was associated with that post, when the post was deleted, the comment automatically got deleted too. Otherwise, you would delete comments pretty much in the same way as we did with the posts and pages. So we've now cleared out the sample content that's been on our site. You can see here if we come back to the dashboard at a glance, that activity is gone. So there's nothing here. So now what we want to do is we want to go to Appearance. If you hover over that, you can see this flyout menu. We're going to click on Themes. Now themes, you can think of it like an outfit for your blog. So if we were to come up here to the top and click on Visit Site, you can see this is what our blog currently looks like. And what is determining what this looks like is the theme that's currently installed. So if we come back to themes, so you can see here if I hover over blog in this drop down menu, I can go directly to themes. This theme, which is telling us is active 2019, this theme is what's giving us the style that you're seeing on the public side. If you were to choose any of these other themes, then what you see on the front end would change. Now in this case, I don't use any of the default themes that get installed, so I'm just going to leave this theme for now, even though it's really ugly. I'm just going to leave it and I'm going to delete these excess ones. So to delete them, you're going to click on Theme Details and you can see here on the right there is a delete button. When you click that, you have to confirm that you want to delete it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And you can see we are now, once it's done deleting, we're now left with only one theme, which is this 2019. And you can see here it says it's the current theme. Now, as I mentioned, I don't use the default themes. So later on in this series, I'm going to show you which theme is the one that I'm going to use. And there are thousands of themes out there. There's a whole bunch of free themes. There's also many premium themes. I personally like to use a premium theme and one that offers a lot of customization options. For now, we're going to leave this as is. Now, the last area we're going to look at is plugins. So if you hover over plugins, click on Installed Plugins, and you can see here there is one plugin. And it's SG Optimizer. This plugin is specific to SiteGround. Now, I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to get rid of that. If you're not on SiteGround, you're not going to see this plugin. You may see other plugins. I like to delete everything and start with a completely blank slate. So to get rid of a plugin, you just click on the Deactivate button or link, and then you can see now it's been deactivated and we now have two options underneath our plugin title. We can activate it again or we can delete it. So I'm just going to go ahead and click delete. Then I'm confirming that and you can see now that I have no plugins whatsoever. So we now have cleaned up all the excess sample content and the extra themes and the plugins that we don't want. We have a nice clean WordPress installation and it's ready for the next step.